Wow, it's time for another show full of tips and ideas from the sales growth leadership expert, Dean Akers. Known for his experience in hyper-growing companies and creating cultures for high-performance teams, here's Dean. We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Subscribe to...
Well, welcome to episode 63. Last week, I got a lot of great feedback, people reaching out to me at help@adjunctceo.com on our show about losing sales. I actually had one person reach out and said, I just don't get the math. So I provided them a template where they could put their own sales commission programs in and look at what the amount of sales they could lose before they ever lost a dime with the increased pricing and then the confidence they build. So if anybody has any of those questions, if you're a CFO or CEO or sales director out there that just cannot get your arms around the whole lose a sale mentality and pay commissions, please reach out at help@adjunctceo.com. Give me your phone number. I'd be glad to give you a free visit on it and shoot you the spreadsheet that shows you how it works. Again, it's an out-of-the-box thinking, and sort of our show's going to be a little bit about that today. I also want to share some really exciting news. In May, the middle of May, I'll be starting a 1-hour radio show weekly in the Tampa Bay area on AM 1380, the Biz Radio. It's going to be an Adjunct CEO radio hour, and we'll be bringing in CEO guests that are going to share their journeys, tips, ideas. Really going to be interactive. I've got some really headliner CEOs that are going to join me, folks I've known for years, people that have had great journeys, people that you read about or hear about and just think they were an instant success. They're going to really share a lot with you. So I'm excited about that. That'll also be pushed out as a podcast, and we'll be providing more information on where that podcast will be located. We're still going to be doing this weekly rant. I mean, I get so much feedback, over 130 countries, thousands of downloads. So we're going to still do the weekly rant, and this is just my deal. And that's where we'll be doing this. Any rate, so I also wanted to let you know the Adjunct CEO is growing and helping others. Thanks for all your support. It's my passion. We're going to have new CEOs joining us. Got a lot of exciting announcements you'll see. We're going to be revamping the website a little bit. So just so much cool things happening as the Adjunct CEOs get out and help new entrepreneurs, salespeople, current businesses, all making an impact. So I wanted today on our show give you some tips on challenging your current thinking. And I was reminded of this when I was a client this week, and we were talking about stuff, and they started talking about gambles and risk and changes and stuff like that. And I'm reminded of years ago when I was 30 and I had taken over a tire company I'd purchased, and back then, I think I've shared with some of you, I didn't even know how to buy a company and it was broke. That's a whole nother story. But we were in the service business or in the commercial tire business, and service was a big piece. And so we started brainstorming with a little bit with our customers, and our salespeople all thought it was price. And we determined that probably the biggest thing it was service. Getting these people when they had a flat tire on the side of the road with their big trucks back on the road. So we came up with an idea that we would do 60-minute service, dispatch our people within 60 minutes, 24/7, 365 days of the year, within that hour, 24/7, again, 365 days a year, or the service call was free. So we brought our 100 plus people together for a big kickoff, and this was a older company, been around, I think, 50 years. And so I stood up in front of the group and said, we've been brainstorming, and we're just going to go out and be crazy, and we're going to do 60 minutes roadside service. We'll be on the way in 60 minutes, roadside service, 24/7 in our market, or it's free. That's 24/7, 365 days a year within 60 minutes, or the service call is free. This was a defining moment. One of our boom truck operators, a gentleman by the name of Robert Blue, been with the company 30 plus years, Just one of our best service providers off of trucks taking care of tires. Was raised his hand in the back of the room. He was so nervous. Thought he was waving at me, and he stood up and Robert since passed, bless his soul. Robert stood up and said, Mr. Dean, if we do this 60-minute service 24/7, 365 days a year, we'll go broke. Well, here was the good news. We were broke. And I looked at Robert, I said, we are broke. This is like drunk falling off the floor. There's nowhere to go. And it was a light bulb moment for all 100 plus of us. We sat there and said, we can be out there inventive. We can take risk, because it was nowhere down, because we were already broke. So everybody got committed to it. Everybody got behind it. Everybody on the team talked about it. They all got on the program of, let's get out there, 60-minute service, 24/7. We'll take care of you. They all had business cards. They all had spring in their step. This was a company that had been around forever. It became a battle cry, if you will, for us. 60-minute service, 24/7, 365. All of a sudden, we'd have big cut. Oh, and by the way, we raised our prices too. And our sales team go, well, people aren't going to buy. And I said, I promise you, when somebody's sitting on the side of the road, they're not going to care about saving $50. And so suddenly we started getting customers. We had customers, but we started getting big companies, and we'd go out to the big companies. It was hilarious, because we go out to the big companies, everyone you know, and we'd say, we'll take care of your vehicle 24/7, 365. We will fix that tire on the side of the road in 60 minutes or less. We'll be out there, or it's free. And they go, well, we need a good price. And said, you know what? We'll do it. If you just never use us but one time and you need us for emergency, we'll do it. Don't worry about it. What's $50, $60? Doesn't matter. Well, it was comical, because the big guys would all go, well, we're never going to use you because we're price buyers. At least that's what my sales team said. Well, let me tell you what, when you have a tractor trailer sitting on the side of the road at 3 a.m. and you have a critical drop in a port or something that has to be met, or you're going to miss your drop, do you think 50 or $100 matters? The answer's no. Suddenly, people started calling us, and all the big guys started using us. And then our prices of our tires, they go, guys, we can't buy your tires. You're double the price of our national account programs. Not a problem. Not a problem. Just bring us a tire. You don't have to buy your tire from us. We're here to serve you. Just bring us one of your tires that you buy real cheap. Well, I guess how long that lasts. Pretty soon they're going, the guy that's the shop director, and it's 3 a.m, his truck's on the side of the road, and he's sitting there and he needs a tire, and we're saying, just come on, bring it on out. Just bring it on out. And he's sitting in bed. What do you think he's doing? He's saying, put it on. Put your tire on. Because at the end of the day, it was all about service, turnaround of their trucks, getting them back going, and doing it with a smile, and making them happy, making the customer happy, making them what they really wanted was uptime with their trucks. Well, we went on to grow the company. We took care of all the major companies around the state of Florida, and we sold out to another company 10 years later. But it was a big success in taking our team and having our team rethink the possibilities. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is I want you to really look and see where you are with your team. Ask your team if you're really checking in on them. I got one more quick story. So I'm in the ditch. I had a construction company too. I'm in the ditch working with my team, and we've got a big backhoe, $1 million backhoe up on the hill. We're 15 foot deep in a trench box laying sanitary sewer in the summer. Got to tell you, it's hot. I'm down there working with my guys, and my guys are all sitting there because I would work 1 or 2 days a month on a crew to learn a little bit more about the business. And so we're down there, and about halfway through the day is when they get comfortable with me. And I finally asked them, I said, you guys have been doing this for years. Is there anything we should be doing different that would help you be more effective? And a couple of them sat there and said, well, we need a hydraulic pipe puller. And I go, what is that? And it's some device that you hook to one end of the pipe and another end of the pipe, and it would pull it home faster. And I said, well, what would that do? And they go, that would increase our production. I said, really? Oh, yeah. It would definitely increase our production 10 or 15, 20, maybe even 20%. I'm going, really? Now, these are the laborers in the ditch. So I'm sitting there going, really? So I wave to the backhoe operator. He drops the bucket deep in the ditch. I jump in the bucket. They lift me up, and I have two foremen sitting on the side of the ditch. They're seasoned veterans, too. And of course, I'm not that seasoned, and I don't know much about it at all. I'm just the CEO of the company and owner of the company because I just took this business on. And I go, can I ask you guys a question? They go, yeah. Have you ever heard of this pipe puller device? And they go, yeah, we've heard of it. I said, what would it do? And they go, well, this is how it works, Dean. They told me exactly what the guys in the ditch told me. And I said, so would that increase our production? And they both looked at me and they go, yeah, probably would. I go, wait a minute. So you know about something that can increase our production. These guys in the ditch, they've known it. They've never shared it. Well, yeah, because guess why they don't share? Because they don't think anybody listens. Guess who was listening that day? Guess who was listening that day in the ditch working right beside them? Me. When they finally trusted me enough by me asking and listening and asking and listening to share this thing that would help our company / them, and then I validated it with the leadership up on the hill, you can imagine. Now, anybody that knows me knows I don't lose my temper, but I did look at them and said, somebody better get in a pickup truck and head to Granger or wherever this thing is and get one of those like right now. Because this device, oh, and by the way, in the ditch, I said, how much do you think one of these things costs? And they go, I think they're about $2,000, Mr. Akers or Dean. And I go, $2,000? This backhoe on the hill is $1 million. The front end loader's $250,000. The bulldozer's $150,000. The Tampa rollers, the big vibratory rollers, another $100,000. We had $1.5 million, $2 million of equipment, and we're all trying to save $2,000. So the message today is listen to your people. When in doubt, listen to your people. When in doubt, listen to your people. Your people will teach you how to disrupt. If you're listening, you're one of the people, then talk to your ownership. Talk to your leaders. Don't be fearful. Tell them what you think. Share with them the whys, not this will work better. Share with them the whys. And let's go out and make our companies better. You guys have a great week. I want some disruption out there. Again, you can get me at help@adjunctceo.com. If you have any questions, I'm there for you. Give me a call. I'll reach out. We've got more adjunct CEOs coming on board that can help you too. We've got a radio show starting on 1380 The Biz at the noon hour on Saturdays in just about 3 weeks. I'm excited about that. So many cool things happening. Thanks for all your support out there. And you guys have a great week.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Subscribe today to our podcast and send questions or thoughts to help@deanakers.com. Also, visit us at www.deanakers.com to listen to prior shows and view helpful videos. Also, great tips to download. Thanks again. See you next week.